What makes Family Guy funny? The characters? The plot? No. It's the cutaways. What if Family Guy was just cutaways? Horrible. It's horrible. Let me explain. It's 2007, and Family Guy's finishing up its 5th season, and Seth MacFarlane wants to try something new. He has all these cutaway ideas, but alas, they're too offensive for the average Fox viewer. What does he do? He makes a web show for his Too Hot for TV cutaways on the new and popular website YouTube. Seth MacFarlane's cavalcade of cartoon comedy was born. 23 shorts were uploaded September 10th, 2008 to June 12th, 2009. Another 27 were exclusive DVD. The production of these shorts weren't free, however. The skits were sponsored by Burger King, Nike, and Priceline.com. Present today, 2026, and no one knows these shorts exist. It's a footnote in the much bigger story of Seth MacFarlane's career, and I don't think that's right. What I bring today is the ranking of all 50 Seth MacFarlane's cavalcade of cartoon comedy shorts from best to worst, because almost all of them are awful. What we will learn is what makes a good cutaway gag, and see the depth of hell of what makes them so god-awful. Let's dig in deep to Family Guy's forgotten brother. Small Talk Von Helen is definitely the best to come out of the Cavalcade collection. It's good setup, good punchline, and good adding upon the punchline. Definitely the highlight if someone's ever to check this collection out. But I do warn you, however, this is like one of 6 skits out of 50 that I'd actually consider funny. So enjoy this highlight from an otherwise terrible downward spiral of a product.
I have cancer.
Still?
Really funny. I like Quentin's rant about the bride during the circumcision and the sporadic one-liners throughout the bit. For once, I knew the random celebrities from before my time, so this is surprising. I'm also surprised that this was relatively less gory than I'm used to from modern Family Guy. I forgot that Seth once was not, creating a live leak every episode of Family Guy, and this is just, regular gore. It deserves its spot at the top of my list.
Why on earth would they hire Quentin Tarantino to perform a circumcision?
Jon Stewart was unavailable.
It's actually pretty funny. Keeps the style of Family Guy humor with grounded dialogue, which is, always been my favorite type of Family Guy joke. And Seth does the typical dated reference to someone I didn't know existed, Sarah Jessica Parker, but, I still laughed. It's pretty good.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Good setup and execution. It's a nice, quick little joke. It reminds me of a comic. I don't really got much else to say. It's pretty good. That Jesus is actually pretty funny. The replies Jesus gives to the villager please are funny, and that's what, carries the scene. An underlying problem with a lot of these skits is that if the underlying joke isn't funny, the whole thing isn't funny. Lucky for Jesus, the joke worked. I can see why people wouldn't find this funny, however, though. More dialogue and mini joke heavy ones are particularly more funny from what I noticed. Not just with Seth MacFarlane's cavalcade of cartoon comedy, but with Family Guy too.
Say to myself, hey Jesus, don't eat that barbecued steak sandwich. I guess that's not gonna happen, huh?
Perhaps the most quotable skit on this list. Z, who lives in a glass house, should be cautious about throwing rocks unless he has a machine gun turret mounted to his roof. Very good skit. And you can see why clip channels always repost this one, despite it not originating from Family Guy. The ending was fine, but the build-up was very funny. Stuck on a life raft with Matthew McConaughey. Random guy and Matthew McConaughey are stranded at sea. Actually pretty funny. A long skit that held it together very well. It's a good impression of Matthew McConaughey. Usually Seth is pretty good at these types of long, boring jokes. The classic frog out the window from Family Guy comes to mind. And it stuck the landing with this one too. Also, the joke was reused in a Family Guy episode, I should include that. Both instances were funny. This isn't the only instance of jokes from this collection being remade in Family Guy, but it's important I bring this up now.
I'm just such a good actor. Oh, that's what you need to do, friend, to keep yourself alive.
This ad for Jeff Goldblum wafers is surprisingly funny. I found myself constantly chuckling at the little remarks of Jeff Goldblum's wafers. Even if you don't know who Jeff Goldblum is, you still get a chuckle out of this solely from Steven Santon's performance as quirky salesman. Also, the cracker's kind of like Hank Hill, a little bit. Two singers sing about the smallest pussy in town. It's always a treat to hear Seth MacFarlane sing, so I'm quite pleased upon this skit being a song. Lyrics aren't bad as well. Not the best comedy this collection has to offer, but it's a good mix-up from an otherwise mixed bag of comedy.
Whenever I am with her, I just grin like a clown, 'cause my gal's pussy is the smallest in town.
This one's pretty cute. W Jesus, respecting Hinduism. I really have no complaints about this one. It's a good flow of comedy. I like it.
Nah, but seriously, dude, happy birthday.
Actually, not that bad. Taking a dump on a frog's back was unexpected. Also, the Brian voice. You know, you can't never ignore the Brian voice in these skits.
I'm supposed to kiss you, right?
No, actually, you're supposed to take a dump on my back.
The Oz offers real gifts. They actually reused this joke for an actual Family Guy episode, more specifically just the Tin Man bit. It was reanimated, but the joke was basically the same. As for the actual quality of the skit, it's not too bad. I can see why someone would find the skit funny, as it's written well. Also, the dog looks really funny.
There? Well, go on, get to it. I'm not gonna beat myself. Or maybe I am. Ooh, welcome to Oz, bitch!
We've reached a point in the list where I would no longer consider these skits funny. Beavers are explained to be an asshole of the forest through the neighbor's douchebag behavior towards the other animals in the forest. I thought the ending was funny with the narrator reveal. The voice acting was definitely a step up from the others due to the characters being voiced from people other than Seth. Definitely feels like an unused Family Guy bit though. That being good or bad is up to you.
From now on, beaver means vagina.
Yeah!
And that is the origin of the term.
Settlers failed to sell butt beads to the Indians. The joke bit was funny, but it's not really much to talk about. It's a fine little skit.
Will you take a gerbil?
Seth Green voices Michael Sticknipple / Albert Horsefeet Shit Sneeze. The longer these skits are, the better the joke has to be, and the outcome for this one was just alright. I'm glad the title didn't give it away the punchline, unlike, you know, some other ones on this list coming up.
Do I have a middle name?
Yes, you're Albert Horsefeet Shitsneeze.
Die, Sweet Runner, die. I remember watching this segment uploaded separately from Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. It's just a random video I saw as a kid. I almost remembered it perfectly from what I watched as a kid, except I thought the catapult failed at the end and he just sat there, you know, like the actual Roadrunner cartoons when the coyote fails. That ending I misremembered was definitely funnier than the actual punchline. Not saying it was bad or anything, but it was just a fine joke.
So, if you have about 45 minutes, I'd like to talk to you about the Lord Jesus Christ.
For being a douchebag, he doesn't really act the part. Maybe if you threw in a couple, hey, but I don't knows after every piece of advice, it would have been a bit funnier, but, you know, it's not too bad.
Smoke pot and listen to music. Use headphones if you got them.
I'll admit it, this one caught me off guard, and he got a laugh out of me. Thanks, Seth MacFarlane, for that one. If it was Valentine's Day back in 2008 and I saw this freshly posted on YouTube, you'd bet I'd be smacking my stomach with laughter, you know. You did it, Seth. You got a laugh out of me. Good job with the fucking chicken crosses the road. You know, surprisingly not the worst Fred Flintstone skit in this video. As the title spoils, however, Fred and Bart and he try to get into a club. If there was more banter between the bouncer and the prehistoric crew, maybe it would have been funnier, but it's nothing offensively bad. It's just fine.
Hello, dum-dums.
Oh, come on!
Dick Cheney having sex was already funny, but the random detail of Dick Cheney having the Republican elephant hanging in his room, like, I know Family Guy animators just do that, just add like a background, they don't really care about. I thought that was funny, okay? And Gilbert Godfrey was also funny just because, you know, he's
Parrot from Aladdin!
the rest were below average. There's a lot more sex of characters coming up, and if you thought this one was unfunny, well, it's going to get worse, okay? Fat woman claims to have bulimia, but it's just fat. Real nothing burger of a skit. Punchline feels like that SpongeBob and Patrick roller coaster gif. I really have nothing to say. This one's just boring.
Maybe you'd like to go out sometime?
No thanks, I don't date fat chicks.
You know, I guess this is a joke. The worst type of jokes are neither good or bad. You know, it's just nothing, okay? The lady said Jim so much, I thought it was going to be like Jim from The Office, but that would have been even less funny, so, you know what, don't do that, Seth. I don't know what I'm writing. This is really forgettable.
Here we go. Jim's famous silent treatment. I mean, why, Jim? Fuck you, Jim!
pretty normal in the 2000s, early 2010s to see Mario Gets Trolled videos on YouTube. I wasn't expecting Seth MacFarlane to make one. I'm confused because this was aired on YouTube and yet it refers to Peach as the princess and Bowser as... It's odd because if you were to seek these skits on YouTube, I'd assume you have some knowledge of, you know, internet and knew who Peach and Bowser were. Don't really need to appeal to general audiences for this one, Seth, so don't make me make a Mario grifting video. Skit was whatever though, it's fine.
Sucks at Mario. In this video, we can see a player so atrociously bad at Mario.
No, it's gross. The setup and punchline were told good, I just didn't think it was very funny. Kermit at the end was funny though.
Name that animal penis.
Can we hurry this along, please? I have a plane to catch.
Dog fails to communicate to his owner and they lose the game. Okay? Why does the dog talk normally after they lost? Is there a rule to use your native tongue while being on this show? I don't get it. I'm putting too much thought into this cutaway shit.
It was Blender, you asshole! Blender!
Okay, so, the first time Scotsman was watching Tootsie, I didn't find it funny. Neither of the fucking fourth time he was talking about Back to the Future, okay? This isn't fucking funny. There's gonna be more of this later, and this is the best it gets. It's just a Scotsman who says words weird with a weird accent. You know, it's not as bad as other entries on this list, but I don't know, it's fine. I thought Poops It was funny.
Besides, you're a poopet!
Monkey Dad talks to Monkey Son about monkey religion. Real cutting edge commentary about religion with this one, Seth. Brian Griffin approved. In all seriousness though, it's kind of lacking a punchline. More like a twist I was expecting, we just didn't get it. Below average skit. Also, the kid monkey looks like Diddy Kong.
Monkey Jesus could have ripped off the Romans' arms and masturbated all over their bodies, but he chose love instead.
Cows learn of mad cow disease as they're eating cow. Not sure why the joke didn't end with their shocked expression, but rather the male cow going, well shit. Like, you didn't need to add that. That's just unnecessary addition to flat out the runtime. Already whatever joke, it's not making it more funny by saying, well shit. Like come on. It's making me mad thinking about it right now. In turn, it's making me mad cow disease.
Well,
This show was a bit past my time, so I literally don't know if this is funny or not. Also, I've never even heard of this show, so someone's gonna have to let me know in the comments if they were wailing on the floor from how funny this joke is, because I'm just gonna assume it's accurate, so it's mid. Also, a nice pair of tits he got there. What happens if you feed a dog chocolate while he wears a tinfoil hat in the microwave? To my knowledge, this was the last one of these skits to be produced, and it's mediocre. Not sure why the Big Bang Theory star Will Wheaton is in this one to explain to never feed a dog chocolate while he wears a tinfoil hat in a microwave. A sad whipper to end this collection on, but it's definitely not the worst on this list.
Hi, I'm Will Wheaton.
Little does Dracula know, Magic Johnson has AIDS. Even if you don't know Magic Johnson, you can still infer he has some sort of STD from his delivery, so props to the staff behind this one to convey that. Still not funny though, you know.
You don't follow the news very much, do you?
As the title says, two Persian guys try to get laid in their sports car. Build up was fine, comedy was fine, and so was the punchline. It was all fine. This is a perfect example of an average Family Guy joke. Obviously, the comedy professional here, who has studied the art for 20 years in my private study, it's low of me to be picking on such low-hanging fruit that is two Persian guys try to get ladies in their sports car. But this just feels like a discount Family Guy joke. But no. Fucking Persian stereotypes is what we get. This was coming out during peak Family Guy too, so I was kind of expecting better, but no. We get mouth fucking Persian stereotypes is what we get. Just beyond mediocre.
Yeah, get in sports car.
You know, these accents aren't helping.
Even the wiki description is disappointed in this skit. I'm just gonna assume the joke was not meant to be a funny joke, which in turn expected me to laugh, but I didn't, just from how funny it was, okay? You can't make a joke on funny and get mad when I don't laugh, okay? Whoever animated this, you just wasted your time. This is just whatever. Fun fact, the first ever Family Guy cutaway was in a gym. There's a piece of trivia for you.
I'm gonna get in shape. But not today!
Mountain climber takes a shit and it lands on an in-the-progress wedding. Haley from American Dad voices Stephanie, the bride. Not a lot to say here. I don't know why I thought this shit was going to hit somewhere else. But, I suppose we haven't got there yet, and Family Guy screwed the audience jokes where Peter comes on screen and says, "Oh, you thought I was going to hit them? Wow." So it's whatever joke.
That's good enough for me. It's been great, Steph.
Same here. Good luck.
Why Bob Marley should not have acted as his own attorney. This is an example of a title that works. It could have been so easily called Bob Marley Says Ja and gets a life sentence. But you should not get credit for probably making a title, so no bonus marks there. It's alright. Although you need to know a little bit about Bob Marley to understand this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's defending himself on murder by confessing to a completely different murder.
I have this weird hunch he might be high.
I share a boat with these two ducks because I've also only seen half of Meet the Parents. Same reason of the ducks being that I was unbelievably uninterested in what was happening. I did miss the start of the movie, however, so maybe it would have connected some things. But you know, I'm gonna trust the ducks on this one. They know what they're talking about. Joke-wise, it's not as reliant on you knowing the source material, but I don't know. This is more just like an I agree type of joke. There's no real punchline. It's just hoping you know what Seth's talking about here. So, you know, thanks ducks for agreeing with me, but no thanks to you, Seth, for wasting my time.
Let's shut it off.
I agree.
That's much better.
Bob Dylan, Tom Waits, Popeye, and Muhammad Ali speak gibberish. As riveting as it sounds, a good joke requires substance, and, you know, an underlying narrative that's captivating. And funny, this is just not it. Maybe I just missed the cultural zeitgeist that was Bob Dylan and Muhammad Ali talking, but from my understanding, they sound fairly normal in real life, although maybe I'm missing some added context here. Another one of these where I may be missing some context here, but this just wasn't that funny. I guess the title card plus Barry Gibbs riding the roller coaster is the joke, but when watching these in quick succession, the joke doesn't work as well. As a one-off link I'd send to someone in the early internet saying, "Hey look, it's Barry Gibb riding a roller coaster." That would work for the joke, but you know, as said, it doesn't. Also, when looking for more information on the skit, I found the IMDb page with one review that was beyond unhelpful. That alone knocks this joke down. The joke is the knight is gay and acts gay. The knight does make reference to a way funnier skit in this ranking. Not sure if that was intentional, however. This display of a gay knight gives me Roger from American Dad energy, which I wouldn't be surprised if this was a reused American Dad bit because of this, but I don't know, maybe Seth just really likes gay humor. Not that funny.
Fuck off, you do it.
Well, I can't.
Oh, well then he who lives in a glass house
With a machine gun turret on the roof!
Sheep is too horny to be sheared.
Shorn.
I watched this one like that one Homelander gif staring at the camera, so this one suffers from a joke already not being funny and running it to the ground. The Shorn thing got a smile out of me though, so there's that. I feel like the more funny a skit is in this collection, and moreover Family Guy as a whole, is if the skit understands what it is. Sheep shearing is too uncomfortable with itself and fails to tell the joke because of that. As compared to the glass house bit, it knew what it was and stuck the landing because it knew what it was doing.
Big fucking cotton boner. Fuck me with that thing. Fucking shear my asshole.
Sex with more people and occupations. All are about the same level of not being that funny, but the trapeze one had me smile a bit. I, however, am ranking these as a whole package. It's a bad package. Maybe Sulu would have been funnier if I had watched Star Trek, but I knew who Will Wheaton was and it wasn't that funny.
Ow. God, this is incredibly uncomfortable. Huh? Okay, I did not agree to a threesome.
Canadian has sex with a monkey. There's some insane animation in this. Incredible for the time period, Seth. He really knocked out the park with monkey sex. Not that funny though. You already knew what the punchline was because of the title card. If there was no title card, maybe the joke would have been funny, but you know, I doubt it. Blushing on the balls was kind of funny, but I don't know why they didn't use that as a reason for the monkey and Canadian have sex again. I'm putting too much thought into trying to make this funny when it's just not funny, okay?
Really? I don't see it.
No, it's only on my balls. I blush with my balls.
Oh. Wow.
Not funny. But for real though, it's a joke. That's a bit of a cultural divide for me. But even after looking it up, well, it's still not that funny. I imagine the modern version of this joke would be making fun of how skinny Ariana Grande is. I won't culture police over this one too much, but simply I don't care. A good joke needs to have staying power beyond an event that happened for 1 month in 2004.
Said this, kill yourself and your daughter.
Wasn't funny the first time, neither the fucking 8th time. Worse this time around because I phased out during the Shawshank Redemption scene. So I had to rewatch it, and any reason to rewatch any of these skits for even a fucking second is beyond irritating. Just awful. There's not even poopits in this one this time around. Fuck. 60 seconds of shit. The laugh Fred makes was kind of funny. Not because the skit itself was funny, because the exact same sound was made like multiple times. Like, I don't know how the voice actor did that so consistently. Maybe if I was a kid, I'd be rolling on the ground crying from Fred Flintstone taking a shit. But if you were going out of your way to buy the DVD for this, I'm sure you were expecting some top tier comedy. Unfortunately, Fred Flintstone takes a shit does not do that. Okay, I'm just gonna rank these all together, so a quick rapid fire. Don't know who this is. I've never seen the movies. Dated product that seems to have been lost to time. The fucking Zune. Don't know this person. I guess you're right, Seth. I can't disagree with you on this one. Alright, dated pop culture reference. We all know an asshole like the snake guy. 7 Kinds of Laid is pretty funny. And Get This Man a True. Half are dated references, the other half are just alright jokes. You know, it's fine. But I'm getting real sick of these dated references. It's not that I don't know them. It's just because I know what the fuck a Zune is, it doesn't make it funny. This segment could have been a lot funnier given the, you know, the premise. It's pretty good. But, missed the mark. I do not know what the joke is here. Cats hate dogs? Putting them in an office space adds nothing to the comedy. It would have been the same joke if they were just regular cats with a dog sneaking up behind them. It's garbage. It's garbage.
Stocks over the past several years among the larger corporations, and the long-term compound appreciation is quite impressive.
Ted Nugent shoots the ghost of Christmas past. No clue who Ted Nugent is. The dinner scene was weirdly lacking jokes as well. Like, I was expecting a little more jokes from this scene. But no, everyone's just enjoying their ghost meat. Is that the joke? People enjoying ghost meat? Because, to me, it means nothing. Ghost meat isn't fucking real. Fuck you and your ghost meat. Shitty skit. Perhaps the least funny skit in this whole collection, in my opinion. And the title spoils it. It's not that the title pisses me off the most, however. It's just that, you know, it's not funny to watch someone sneeze throw up. I like some gross out humor, but you can't tell me the joke before it happens. So, you know what, actually, I do fucking hate the title card because it spoiled the joke. Stop spoiling the fucking joke with all these title cards. A part of a good joke is the aspect of the unexpected. In my opinion, it's a little bit funnier if you just have it randomly happen than Seth's title card spoiling it, the joke. Well, whatever. This skit sucks and embodies every problem wrong with this fucking collection of Seth MacFarlane's cavalcade of cartoon comedy. So that was awful. Were some of them funny? Yeah. Are they 90%? No. It's complicated because despite what I just said in this video, I think Seth MacFarlane's a talented individual. Early Family Guy, American Dad, and The Tid Show prove that this man knows comedy. It's just that I don't think he understands why the cutaways work. Family Guy works because the cutaways are complementary to the final product. Put simply, too much of a good thing is bad. There must be a balance. Its irrelevance in the public eye can be attributed to being uploaded to early YouTube, which is weird because early YouTube and Family Guy were always synonymous with each other. A lot of early YouTube was just Family Guy re-uploads. And today is much of the same. Perhaps if Seth were to try this project again, he would find more success with today's modern form short content being so prevalent. But who knows? Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Report me for terrorism if you didn't. Have a good one.